Welcome into Scoop City. I'm the athletic senior NFL insider, Dianna Russini. So we know that training camp is in full swing, and we decided to take Scoop City on the road, and our first stop was the Denver Broncos. Lots of intrigue on this team, especially considering the kind of offseason they had and the additions they made, and of course, year 2 of starting quarterback Bo Nix. We had an opportunity to talk to the quarterback, to talk to the head coach Sean Payton, and to talk to the reigning defensive player of the year. Let's take a listen to some of those interviews. All right, joining us now is Denver Broncos starting quarterback Bo Nix, who 1 year ago we were sitting here watching you out there, and everything was new. Everything was different. You didn't admit or tell us that you were nervous. But now that you've had this year, were you really nervous last year? Tell us the truth.
I don't think I had enough thought to even be nervous. I was thinking about so many other things, but it's a lot easier this year, just for so many different reasons. Already being in a huddle, knowing everybody, just new, same system, and it's the first time since my junior and senior year in high school I had the same system back-to-back years. So wow. I've been,
Wait. What a difference!
Wait. It's your first year. So I want to make since junior, senior in high school, since you've had the same system.
Yeah, every system in college, all 5 years was different. And then here, last year was different. So we're going, basically that's 7 systems in 7 years. But this year, it's all review. So I get to do everything again, and it's so much better.
How does it feel stepping on the field? Because I was able, Sean let me be out there with you guys, just standing behind and watching just the operation. A lot of fans don't understand just the comfort level of the operation. Forget about on a play call what you have to do. You're not thinking, right? What is the biggest jump you feel? This is only the first day of pads, so we get that. But so far from year 1 to year 2.
Well, I can actually see and react to a defense now, and I'm not seeing it react to what our play is. So break the huddle.
Yeah.
You usually got a cadence, a motion, the play, footwork, and then you got to look at the defense last. So now all that other stuff before the actual play, I kind of feel like it's second nature, and I'm not really thinking as much. I can go faster. I can get my eyes in the right spot on defense, and then usually that's where your reaction time and the physical part of the game speeds up, and you look a little bit better.
So with the operation, and I'm glad you said that, when you break in the huddle, take me through your process, because there's a lot of differing processes for quarterbacks. When you break the huddle, obviously eyes go to the play clock, but then where do your eyes go next? Take us through from huddle to snap for you.
So if it's a run play, get to the line, okay, see the front, ID the mic, get the motion, get everybody set up, make sure we're at a line to execute the play. So once we're aligned, you sometimes have just one play and you roll it with it, and you react from there. Sometimes you got a double play. You have to ID certain keys on defense, kill the play, get guys in the right spot, get back to action. Sometimes actions change from outside zone to tossing the other way. So those types of things are much easier because I can get up there and I know what the kill operation is. I know why we're killing it. I know where I'm looking at. I know where to get set up. And then if it's a pass, same thing. ID the front. That'll help with protections. ID the mic for the protection scheme, and then you got to look and see where the balls are being thrown. And ID safeties, other things like that.
It's a lot that goes on. There's only 25 seconds.
There's a lot that goes on. And then the next layer is okay, where my matchup? Who's actually in with me? Where my receivers at? What pressure are they bringing? How can I get the line to block it? How can I get my backs out? How can I get the best access for my receivers? How can I get Courtland or Evan, somebody matched up on another player, and make sure that I ID that? And the last thing you want to do is get back in the film room and say, man, this was a better matchup, but I chose the other side because I was thinking about too many different things. But now I can just get up there, 5 seconds, ID the mic, make sure I'm good protection. Then I can look at the corners, the back end. I can look at my receivers, see what kind of matchups I'm getting, and then I can go much faster.
Or watching this, and I've never done this. I've never done this, obviously, as a quarterback. Yet you're doing all this, you're learning all this, and it sounds like you have it down now. But then you have a playbook from Sean Payton that's not easy. So how have you been able to learn all this and feel confident like you appear you are at this moment?
Well, the good thing about our playbook is it's a lot of words, but that's really what they are. It's just words. You're just telling guys where to line up. You're basically telling everybody what to do instead of just saying one thing and everybody knowing from that one thing what to do. So, you'll give a formation. You'll say a word that flips a receiver. You'll say another word that condenses the formation. You'll say a ball handling word. You'll say the hole that you're running to, and then the scheme that you're running. And then the formation just kind of ties it all together. So
Being a
it
quarterback
sounds
easy, right?
difficult.
Yeah, I need an
It
Advil.
sounds difficult from
Yeah.
when you first show up and you hear, this big long sentence of a
Yeah.
play. You're like,
What is this?
I mean, that's not even, possible.
Like-
And then you learn it, and then it makes sense
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you know why that guy has to be there.
Yep.
You know why you're condensing the formation. You know why you're running this.
It's learning versus understanding too, right? It's like you get the why of why you're doing this stuff, so it makes it easier to comprehend.
And last
it.
year I was just memorizing
Yeah,
things.
you're just like,
and so I know on this
Well,
play I'm doing this, but now
yeah.
I actually okay, that's why we're
Understand
doing
why.
this.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what because I was able last year, when I think this was we were in mid-August when we came, I was able to sit in with a meeting with you guys. And just from my perspective, I've been with Joe Lombardi, I've been with Pete Carmichael. They're the ones sort of sitting off the side. Davis Webb's running the meetings. Talk about him and how he's helped you grow, because I'm guessing, knowing what a quarterback relationship is, he's probably had the biggest effort in your growth.
It's been great. I think it stems from him playing the position and then hopping right into the system. And so he understands how to take what could be a difficult offense, narrow it down, make sure these are the most important things. Break it down into this, like 1, 2, 3. All you gotta do on this play is find this guy. All you gotta do on this play is find this.
Yeah.
And so when he breaks it down, it's a lot easier and I can process it much faster. And then now in year 2, we're starting to go into what be more year 3, year 4, to where I actually can understand
303.
understand a little
Yeah.
bit more and can speed the learning curve up.
Yeah.
And your phone's ringing,
Hey,
and you're answering it. What are you doing?
wait, who?
Get off your phone.
Did Courtland Sutton just get a deal done?
Yeah, that's my quarterback.
Sutton? Okay.
Good to go?
Give me 30 seconds.
Give me 30 seconds.
I mean, Patrick, is it true?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Her phone's blowing up. Hey, Steven, are you getting this? As she's breaking news in the Bo Nix interview? I mean, this is like her job.
Bo, is Courtland Sutton signed up? How do you feel about it?
Video this, yes.
Well,
yeah,
I don't
tell
know
us
what I
about
can.
it. This is
I don't know what I
breaking
can
news.
disclose, but
Are you happy that Courtland Sutton got an extension?
if that's true, absolutely,
It's true.
it's true. Then yeah, absolutely,
Cool.
absolutely pumped.
Perfect. That's funny.
I kind of knew it was
Okay.
coming though.
Yeah, kind of knew it was happening.
Yeah.
Because he didn't practice much today.
Now he's waiting on it to be signed. I think
Yeah, I think science.
it's good for him. It's tough to get. I mean, when he's turning 30, is year 10. It's tough to get that. Just continue to go, but man, he's playing at a high level.
What has he meant to you, though? Let's talk about it, because this is
Well,
breaking,
it's literally like having a. So there's one thing about knowing what it is, understanding it, the offense, all this kind of stuff, and then he provides like another layer of detail. Hey, if they line up like this, I'm gonna do this, and you're gonna throw it here. Or hey, what do you think about if I run it like this, you throw it this way? And I love that kind of stuff because it's not just like, okay, you're gonna run a stop route.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things that go into running a stop route and how we want to convert it and all that kind of stuff, what your split is and what we can run off of it. So,
and everyone I talked to here about Courtland Sutton, the first thing, I'm not kidding you, multiple coaches, there's no diva in him, right?
No.
Meaning he is team first, he's a dog. For a quarterback, right, that's gotta be huge because he's a leader on the team, he's been around for a long time, right? I mean, there's just no diva in him.
no, he sets an example for that room that you're going to show up, you're going to practice, you're going to practice hard, and then that's going to translate to playing hard. And he does a great job off the field of taking care of his body. He's a great leader. You just know what you're going to get out of him. He's so consistent. And that's why he translates every year to having, it doesn't matter up until this point who his quarterback was. You knew he was going to be solid, reliable. And now year 2 with me and year 3 in this system, he's set up for, a great year. Coming off last year, he's really healthy. I'm excited for him. I really am.
All right, so you have the teacher in Davis Webb in your meeting room, but then you have the mentor in Drew Brees who you spent some time with in this offseason.
My neck of the woods.
Yeah. I wish
Come
we
on
could all
now.
live in San Diego. What does he help you with? Like, why is it beneficial to talk to Drew Brees?
Well, he's been in this system. He knows how to handle Coach Payton. He knows how to.
Yes, he does.
He knows how to navigate the system and navigate what you can kind of, the checks and stuff that you can get with. And I mean, there's just a lot. But he played so much longer than what I've played so far, so he knows a lot. Like, there's so many layers that he learned each year, and I'm just kind of sped up, just trying to get to down the road faster. But it's not really as much about scheme or system with him, because scheme and it's going to change. But it's more about how to operate, what helped him, what his routine was on a Monday through Saturday, getting ready for a Sunday game, how he took care of his body, what kind of arm care he did. He played for a long time with some injuries and he battled through it. So how can he, how do you keep his shoulder strong through a lot of those things, and
how to deal with Sean?
Well, and he had Bo Lowry too with him.
Yeah,
and I think that's a big
same
deal,
trainer.
right?
So it's just there's a lot of carryover, a lot of things that he had so much success in. So I'm trying to replicate it and find the success that he had earlier, so that we can find our own success here.
What's the number one thing you took away from him?
Well, he was so intentional. Like, okay, a guy like that, if I go and hang out with him for a couple hours, a few days, you don't have to usually. I mean, I would understand if you didn't take time and you wanted to just get through it, get over it. I get it. You got a family, you got a lot, but he had lists of things that hey, this is what I want to do.
Notebooks, bro.
This is what I think we should do. This is let's talk about this. Let's go through this operation. Let's talk about your routine. This is what worked for me. And
dude, that's amazing.
It was great. And just sitting down and having a few meals with him was the best part. And because you go out there and throw at some point. We all throw. It's not that's not why you go and hang out with a guy like that. It's just the mental side of the game that just you can make strides in, and that's what speeds your growth up. To me, everybody can do the physical things. It's all about what goes on in the mind and how you handle adversity, how you handle good things, bad things, how you handle a locker room, how you handle a huddle. There's just so many layers to it that I just want to get ahead of.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah, of course.
I know
Thank you.
training camp's a grind.
Appreciate it. We got him first day of pads, so he's not too,
he's
not too tired.
Not too tired
yet.
yet.
I know.
Yeah.
We came at the right time. So,
Yeah.
Bo, thanks so much for the time. Good luck this season. Stay healthy. We're rooting for you.
Thank you very much.
Coming up, reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain sits down with us, and we put him to the test. Actually, we put him on the hot seat, and we have him name his top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. And you may be surprised who he has at 6. We'll be right back.
All right, guys, back here with reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain. Pat, appreciate you joining us.
Yep.
First day of pads today. How did it feel to get back on there? I know you've said a lot about the playoff loss this offseason. This is sort of the first step in that journey, right?
Yeah, this is just the building blocks, first day of pads, getting our bodies callous to, a long season ahead. It was very physical out there first day.
Yeah.
Just getting our feet back on the ground, and just building towards, greater things ahead. So yeah.
I did a little homework, and I asked a couple of your teammates what you're like and why you're so good. And they just kept referencing the work you put in, the mechanics, the discipline, almost just like that everyday sort of procedure, so to speak, that you stick with and plan. How do you keep consistency after all these years and after coming off such a spectacular season?
Yeah, I just think staying true to who I am, being disciplined, trusting the process.
But don't you get tired sometimes? Like you're
You-
always
no,
on
no,
the
no.
top
Oh, for
receiver.
sure. You wake
Wednesday,
up.
the coach is telling you, all right, you know who you got this week. Like we always know who you're going to be on.
Yeah.
Doesn't that get tiring to know that you have to defend these tremendous wide receivers every week?
I don't think so, because I know my name is going to be called,
Yeah.
guarding the best. And, I strive for challenges. I strive for those matchups because I know going up against the best each and every week, it's only going to build the best out of me and bring the best out of me. And, I accept that. I accept that role in this defense. And, each and every year, I try to get better each and every year, whether it's getting stronger, faster. But, yeah, I just accept that role and take it on.
What's something we'd be surprised to learn about how you study? Like, is there a detail that you watch in the opponent that may be a little unique to you?
Yeah, I would say majority of the times, right? If I see a receiver like fixing his gloves or something like that before the line pass, or they gonna get the ball.
To me.
So that's a good tell. Or when receivers leave the huddle frustrated, like
They ain't getting it.
it's like so many different
Body language.
mannerisms that they give off,
Yeah.
and they be like, okay, I know either you're getting the ball or you're not. So little tells like that in the film room or in the game that I get a hold on. It's just so many little aspects of the game because it's very detailed.
For you specifically, though, like you're constantly working at your craft. There's no off time, right? You enjoy the off season, But when you go back and you watch the film, and I've broken you down, it's like you don't see many corners nowadays. I can maybe count on one hand that as a quarterback, 14 years quarterback, you're saying, I'm not even throwing to this side of the field. Like we had a square out there in practice, and we're sitting back there with the quarterbacks, and you're up against Bo in a square out, and I'm like, I'm not even throwing to that side. And all three guys are like, no. Yep. And you're off if you have leverage, and so you know that's facing. Like, what are you trying to get better at? Because you're probably going to have to go through not getting as many contested balls, because if I'm a quarterback, I ain't throwing your way.
Yeah.
We saw it in Cleveland. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
They just avoided you. They like forgot.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we're not doing that.
That's that's a tough part, but it's also a good thing. I mean, it doesn't like fill the stat sheet up like how you want it to, but you're doing your job when quarterbacks and people around the league respect you in that regard. So I just put my head down and work. But during the game it can be frustrating. I ain't gonna lie, because you think you're gonna get maybe a few balls thrown your way. Sometimes you don't, and sometimes at the least that you least expect, you will get thrown at. But I just gotta stay diligent. Stay focused, lock in, because whenever your name's called, that's an opportunity to make a play.
What about for you specifically this offseason? When you went back and studied all your film, what are you trying to get better at this year?
I could always feel like my technique could always hone in on some, like my short area quickness. Yeah. I feel like it's already good, but I still feel like there's some little nuances I could work on, that I could hone in on. Because at corner, your feet always got to stay active. Yep. So I try to work on my feet, work on my brakes, work on my flexibility, work on my hips and stuff like that. Because it's always something you can improve on. Yeah. And I'm not the most flexible person.
Yoga?
Yoga, I be trying to do Pilates and yoga more.
I did hot yoga when I played forever.
Yeah.
It was like trying to get
it's very beneficial.
Yeah.
How often?
I be struggling too.
I know.
It's hot.
It's just your whole body's just working in one. So.
Where are you the least flexible? Is it like hamstring?
Hamstrings.
I think it's just a man thing.
Hamstrings
you guys,
in general.
Yeah, hamstrings is
so
just
hard,
like.
and it affects so much.
Yeah.
So obviously your back and everything else, but. One of your rivals, someone from one of those teams, texted me during practice today and was like, how's that defense looking, right? And I'd be lying if I said that was the first time someone's asked me about the Broncos defense, because there is a lot of hype that this is one of the best in football right now. Just from your experience and years playing, how would you categorize this defense right now based on what you've seen here just in the first few weeks of training camp?
Man, I always just go off of last year. Looking at what people had us last year, we was unproven, a lot of unknowns, a lot of uncertainty. Then once the season ended and we left on a good mark, and then we added these pieces like Dre and Hufunga, and it's just like, man, sky's the limit for us, because we just so dominant everywhere, top to bottom, so talented. The depth is endless. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun season.
Take
I can't
us
wait.
inside the defensive meeting room with Vance Joseph, because Vance brings pressure from everywhere, likes the five-man front, like the bear front, all that stuff. How does he talk to you guys in the meeting room? What has been his message to you guys this year?
Been simple. We're going to, like you said, have a five-man rush, let our line do the work. DBs, you don't have to cover that long. We could be aggressive.
Aggressive.
Just everything is honed in on being physical, stopping the run. And we know as corners, it's going to challenge us, close the middle of the field, corner's going to be tested outside, and we like our chances against anybody. So, that's the defense, we have game plan-wise, and each and every day we're just going to try to perfect that and be the best that we could be.
Which receiver talks the most when you're playing?
Just about to ask
Because I was just thinking, I wonder if he talks. Do you talk out there?
Here and there. It's not.
Who doesn't shut up? Who runs their mouth a bit?
I ain't gonna lie, last year, me and D-Hop was going at it.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my games I was riled up a little bit. Yeah. Me and D-Hop was going at it. That's probably one of the games where he was talking his trash, I was talking my trash, going back and forth. So, good battles.
Yeah.
So, your division, stacked, right? Mm-hmm. Top to bottom, even Raiders getting better this year, new head coach Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, all this stuff. But from your perspective, right, top 5 quarterbacks that you don't want to face. You're hey, in the league right now, because everyone has their thoughts, right? It's this whole thing. But because I got my thoughts, but from a defense, we never asked a
I know,
defender.
we always ask other quarterbacks. What do you think?
And we can talk through this here a little bit. And they don't have to be in order,
Yeah.
so don't worry about order them. But in your mind, when you're watching film, like, is it Mahomes, is it Herbert, is it Lamar, is it like
Allen.
when you're looking, you're like, man, I don't want to play this guy.
It's not even I don't want to. It's
No,
just this,
no,
he's a problem.
like-
He's a problem.
Yeah, he's a problem.
problem.
You know, I'm gonna give you, your respect. You know what I mean? So, I think definitely Mahomes.
Yep.
I mean, we face him twice a year, so
Guys
you know
already
that's
got his
gonna be a
number, though.
challenge.
You guys playing well.
You know, we've been getting after it. You know what I mean? Just ain't letting nothing up because we know one slip up could be a big play with him. So, you know, we got to be on our P's and Q's. Definitely Mahomes. I respect him for many years since I've been in the league. Lamar is a problem.
He just seems to get better and better.
Yeah, he's
It's
a problem,
like-
man. I ain't gonna lie.
He's
Give
gotten
him
better
that
throwing
space,
the
you're
ball.
done.
Yeah, and
Two-time,
that's
like-
dangerous because, you know, everybody know he can run the ball, but
Yeah.
even just throwing it, you know, his throw is precise now on the rope. That's dangerous. That's tough to beat. So definitely Lamar, Josh coming off an MVP year. I mean, he's
MVP.
been that guy. Herbert,
Herbie's
Justin
up there,
Herbert.
huh?
Yeah. He's always a tough matchup.
Yep.
Just because how talented he is, and you know how he's able to be consistent.
Yeah.
Throughout the years. So I definitely say Herbert and
Got the Burrow in there, right?
definitely Burrow.
Yeah.
I've been watching the new show Quarterback. I don't know if you
Here's the thing. I feel
It's
like
unbelievable.
the top that 5 is kind of easy for us to spell
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
It's always right after that I
Yeah.
struggle a bit. It's
Stafford.
like, you throw Stafford in there, Jalen Hurts, like you just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Bo Nix.
There you go.
Bo Nix,
Let's
baby,
go.
right? You got to
I
get
love
him in
that.
there.
I'm telling you, man, Bo gonna be a problem. I'm telling you. I ain't gonna say
What
too
if-
much because I know he don't like the
Yeah,
hype
what have
and
you?
everything.
Because we're gonna
but-
interview him after you. What have you seen from his growth? Because you got here when obviously you've been here when he got here. What has he improved at the most? Is it his leadership on the field? Is it his play? Like, what have you seen through his growth?
I mean, you could just tell, like, when he first came in, like, he was ready. You know, he was sound. Everything about him just screamed veteran QB in a way.
Yeah.
But I feel like this year, you know, he's more composed, understands the offense even more, you know, more confident, even more vocal. You know, he's a great leader out there. You know what I mean? He brings the offense together. And you can just tell he's been working the offseason. He got a little bigger, a little stronger as
he
well.
looks a little,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
more
you know what I mean?
swole.
So
Does
it's
he
gonna
ever
be scary.
talk back? He ever
He
talking?
does, he does.
I've
He
seen
does.
him on TV.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
runs his
He
mouth a
get-
little.
He get rowdy.
First
Yeah,
grade,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm
He get rowdy. You know what I mean? We be getting after it for sure.
Not a
but,
rookie anymore, right?
Yeah, not a rookie.
That's awesome.
So it's good comp. You know what I mean? Good work.
Do you ever give him a hard time about being 25 years old and he's only in
We
the
be
second
talking
year?
about it. We be talking about it.
It's
We
right.
talking-
How do you not make fun of him for
I
that?
think he give himself more of a hard time. You know, we don't really question him about it, but you know what I mean? He mentioned every now and then when we talk, you know, and stuff like that. So, but Bo's great.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Pod. Thank you so much for hanging
Yeah,
out
thank
with
y'all.
us. I know
Appreciate you
camp
so
is
much.
long,
Appreciate
so we appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Good luck. Stay healthy this season.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you take down the Chiefs possibly this year.
Oh yeah. Had that on your calendar.
Still to come on Scoop City, head coach Sean Payton joins the show to talk about why he's so maniacal about the details, what he sees in Bo Nix, and why he's absolutely in love with his current Broncos team. All right, we are back for season 2 of Scoop City. So we've got this training tour going. We figured we would start in Denver because
Our
Is this your
guys.
first stop?
this is
Yeah,
our first stop.
Coach.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought you guys.
We
We literally texted you like a couple days ago. Hey,
I
we're
like
coming
it.
out. Let's
Yeah,
go.
first stop.
And we
Yeah.
discussed as a group too. We said, all right, what do we want to do? Where do we want to start? Last year we did the Chiefs. They were just coming off the Super Bowl. We didn't want to do the Eagles because we said let's start with the team that we probably have the most belief in
Yeah.
for what this season's going to be after what we saw last year. So
I like
now
it.
that you've had some time off to reflect a little bit on what you did last year, what's something that stands out for you?
I think the number one thing would be we played a lot of young players, and when you do that, obviously there's going to be a learning curve, but there's something dangerous about a young team in that sometimes, like, there's certain things you might take for granted or understand in our league, and these guys, if you get the right group, which we found last year, and we began to hit stride, it's fun coaching them. And this offseason, then adding a few veteran pieces, another young draft. It's been, look, the offseason's been great, and the start of this training camp has been really good. And when you have a quarterback in place and you feel like you've seen what you need to see, obviously not only the improvement, but the poise from last year, that gives everyone on the team hope.
Yeah. And Coach, you were gracious enough. I was out there with you guys, had a script. You got me a script that was awesome. It's like I almost wanted to play again, right? And you look at the plays and everything comes rushing back, and you're pulling me over, hey, man, look at this quarterback. Like, it is a real thing that you guys have your quarterback. Last year when we were here, 16 throws is what you said it took us or you to realize he was our guy.
You're jumping out of the chair.
You were jumping out of the chair.
We were like,
Look,
this was crazy. He believes in this guy.
Yeah.
And I think it's a hard position to evaluate. So there's a lot more that goes into that. Like, what are you valuing? You know, there was a lot of criticism about the offense he was in, and understandably so. He can't control that. But all of them that we evaluated, you know, we had to eliminate the now screens and bubbles and really focus in on the things that we value. And he's hard to sack. He's got exceptional feet. He's got exceptional arm strength. When you see the off-schedule throws, and I think last week I answered a question to this narrative of, well, he found the right fit, and that's explaining why he's having
With
success.
Yep.
And my comment was, I don't know a team in the league that doesn't want what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
You know, in other words, and so
Do you feel like you could put Bo Nix in Philly and he can do well? You could put Bo
I
Nix.
think they would be happy.
Yeah. I mean,
Like happy like I
Yeah.
am. Yeah.
But what with you in that development, I asked that. He's obviously the guy. You guys made up the playoffs last year. What is his next step up this year? Like, where did you realize last year he was like, okay, we got our guy, and then going into this off season, you're like, hey, we got to get better at this, Bo Nix.
Well, I think the first thing I look at is, all right, how do we help that player? And I think the two greatest allies are good defense and a running game. And so we played good defense a year ago. We didn't run the ball as effectively as we had hoped.
Yep.
And so focusing on that, you know, people will say, get him a weapon. And, well, the running game is a weapon for that position. You know that.
Yep.
And so we've signed some running backs. This offseason, we spent a ton of time on our run install scheme. And meanwhile, look, he's working on all the cut-ups and looking back at the season, the third downs, getting more comfortable at the line of scrimmage. And then, you know, a lot was talked about when he went to visit Drew, and more of that was schedule. And how did you handle your work week in season? What was Monday like? What was Tuesdays like? You've been in those.
Yeah,
and,
exact room.
And so to actually look at that schedule and understand, like, how much time was in there. And he's both someone that spends a ton of time.
Has he talked to you about that? Does he want to incorporate
just
that?
how to organize the time and how to challenge himself with all of the offensive formations by the week's end, so that the plays coming in now are coming in a little bit cleaner and easier. And you can just see it when he steps into the huddle and out of the huddle.
No doubt.
So that part is what you'd expect in the second year.
Yeah.
But I would say an understanding of all the options on a play, you know, and that, hey, when we call, you know, why Flutie, there's backside here we can get to a little bit more in these coverage looks.
100%.
And I think that with all the cut-ups and, you know, not only cut-ups from his season, but scheme cut-ups of 15 years of a scheme.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about the happy ending.
The touchdown plays.
Touchdown reel.
897.
We have 800, and every one of them ends in a touchdown, but their schemes were installing, and why were they so successful? So he's eager for that.
Yeah.
And that's the start.
You've given him so much, even going back to last year. Like, you're not holding back. In fact, we criticized you a little bit on Scoop City. We thought, is Sean maybe pushing too much? Is he losing patience in trying to get him to the level that his potential is, but he's just not ready yet? Where are you at now in terms of how much of this offense can he handle? Are you giving him everything in a Sean Payton playbook?
Look, it's ours. And when I say that, it evolves. So part of the playbook evolves with the quarterback who's playing. We have more RPOs that, you know, things that he's done really well. At one point last year, we asked all three quarterbacks, I said, I want your most favorite play you've ever run. And then I'm going to evaluate. We're going to put all 3 of them in. And then I'm going to evaluate how successful these plays are. So all 3 contributed. And sure enough, all 3 are plays that are in our staple install now. And each one had a conviction why this was a good play. And so that doesn't change. And there is a little custom fitting here.
Yeah.
Relative to
For sure.
what these guys have done since high school and in college, maybe that I'm not as familiar with, or we're not as familiar with, but we're gonna figure it out. And it existed when we signed Drew back in 2006. Fortunately we hadn't installed any offense, so we quickly grabbed a lot of the terminology he was familiar with. And so I would say, look, he's got a lot of it, and he's comfortable with it. And I think the number one thing is it begins to slow down for him a little bit. The defensive looks.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about you a little bit, because we were on the car ride over here with Dianna and everyone, and just stories from my time with you, 6 years with you, kept coming up. Like, you're 61. It doesn't seem like you're slowing down at all. It seems almost like just spending some time. You're reinvigorated, right? It's the Broncos ownership. It's the team that you have. You love the team.
Yeah,
you love the quarterback. All that stuff. How do you keep trying to find ways to reinvent yourself? Because remember, when I told you out there, I said, and I'm going to be honest with you, your team meetings are some of the best team meetings I've ever been a part of, because you know how to control the team and you have the vision from the outside, but you keep everyone in the building on the same page. How are you continuing to do that and find new ways?
I think one of the great things about the jobs we have, all of us as coaches, is we get to be around young players. So now there are certain stories or athletes that I might reference in a team meeting that would have had a certain response 10 years ago that get no response today. And I'm like, then it's like,
Well, your references are probably a little
then I'm like, I'm
dated
not
too.
wrong. You guys need to figure this out.
Yeah.
Like, I brought up, I don't know who, like Prince or something, and they looked at me like I was
Who
sideways.
is that? Yeah.
So, no, but the meetings are different. And as teachers, I think that there has to be constant change. We're learning about, like, there's so many things we didn't know about nutrition or hydration or sleep or the way, like, and if we just turn the page every year, then we'd quickly fall behind. How our meetings are conducted are different. I mean, there's music, there's video, and, you know, there wasn't all of that back in 06, 07. So I think we're evolving, and I think no different than a high school math teacher. I think they're evolving too. I mean, you want to teach something, but you also have to motivate the student in a way, captivate them. That's our job. And so that's the fun part of the job, coming up with new ideas.
We have a little bit of a inside bet here going on, because I'm curious of what your answer is going to be. If you could replicate any of the players that you've coached over the years, because we were going back talking about Chase's early days with you, and we were just going through your roster, and I was like, I wonder if there's a player, if he could just have on every one of his teams moving forward, who is it?
All right, so the question isn't who's my favorite player.
It's not who your favorite player is.
It's not. No.
Because I've got favorite people in my life, but they're not the best at what they do.
There's so many Jimmy Graham, Shockies, Breeze.
The first guy I said.
You said Jimmy Graham.
That's the answer.
No. The first guy I said was Jimmy
giving
Graham.
you honorable mentions. Jim, listen.
The first one I said.
I'm so happy because he retired this year.
Yes.
But I think there was something about frickin' Darren Sproles.
Oh, we were talking about him earlier today.
And when I tell you this, and I just spoke to him, he's coaching now. All right. And he's reached out and he wants to get into it at this level. And he's going to do an internship for us next fall. And
that's really cool.
I'll never forget Drew saying every snap that he played with Darren, and I don't know how many snaps that was. Obviously, it was a lot. So the Chargers the same way. Drew said there wasn't one time on the field he surprised me with what he did. And his football IQ was off the charts.
Yeah.
And so, like a lot of these cut-ups that I'm grabbing, Harvey or Dobbins or any one of these backs up in the room, and we're going through, there's Reggie, there's Kamara, and Alvin's got those same. Listen,
he does. Never surprised you as a quarterback.
Smart.
Never.
Ever.
So, Sproles,
That's a good
one of those unique guys, and then you forget about his talent as a runner. I mean, so, but look, I've been lucky, and you've heard me talk about the receiver position, the significance of that, but then also those tight ends and runners that can get the closer matchups. And I don't know that I never say we took it for granted, but man, we had some years where the jokers were everywhere.
Well, and from Pierre Thomas to Sproles to Reggie, you had it constant. Last question for me, we want to be respectful of your time. Your rookie class this year, right after the draft, and it was said and done, I texted you, and I said, I like your draft a lot, and you said it has a chance to be special.
Yeah. I always think, we always get the draft grades, and what's real important is trying to, and it's hard today, and I'm talking more about the first and second round, but tune out that NFL train that takes you in a direction with personnel, and look and go by what you see. Barron, we took in the first round. He was one of those clumps that we didn't think would be there. You put on all the tape, man. Inside slot, outside corner, at a premium position. And what I mean by that, like those players in the offseason aren't available. Like there are certain positions that are of abundance, but you can't find those versatile corners. Harvey in the second round out of Central Florida, he was a target, a big target.
Like the guy.
And then it was a matter of where. Bryant in the third round, another target. We had more insight to him maybe than most with our college ties to Illinois. Jim Leonard, of course, on our staff, worked at Illinois. And then, man, just continue through the draft with the defensive lineman, LSU, outside backer, Alabama, punter, and it just kept going, and the tight end learner late. There was a clear vision for every one of these picks as to what they're going to do in year one and how we see them fitting in the program, and we're getting a chance to watch it come to life right now. So I do think it's, we had a few of those drafts that set you up in New Orleans together. The 06, the 17 was crazy.
17 was nuts.
We couldn't pay everyone.
Ramcheck.
Well, the third round. The third round was Kamara. Anzalone, and Hendrickson. That was the third. And so those third rounds are like, because when you think about the draft, 90% of the discussion is about really the first round. And, Bill would he'd call me and say, this fifth round.
Get your starters in third,
fifth.
This
is where you have a good draft, though.
That's awesome.
We ought to be able to draft well early.
We obviously love bombarding you with questions about the offense and just the way you speak of it, and you're so respected around the league. But the talk right now is the defense. Describe the Denver Broncos defense this season right now from what you've seen already. What should we be ready to
confident.
say? Confident.
Yeah, there's a swagger. You take, and look, in big games last year, we saw them play, turn the ball over, sacks, and then you add Funga and Greenlaw, and you add a few of those pieces along with these young guys. I would say the front in the secondary. Surtain was the player of the year. Moss is, I'd say, confident. And that has to be an earned thing too on defense. Like you could pretend to be confident, but those are stripes earned, and I think they're looking forward to. I was kind of concerned about the first day in pads today. Like I didn't know how that was going to unfold.
Greenlaw looked good.
Well, I didn't know. It was pretty calm. There weren't any no tickets issued.
No, they're chilling.
Well, our show's a two-way show. We love talking to you. You have any questions for Chase? Any questions for me?
No, I still love the story. Most people don't realize Chase. See, I was coaching for the Cowboys when he played football at South Lake High School. In fact, I lived a mile from his stadium.
Right next to it,
South Lake Dragons, and my daughter was a junior cheerleader, so she would have been 7, 8 years old, and on one game a year they'd have the junior cheerleaders part of the deal. And so I watched him play, and then at one point in New Orleans, I believe our long snapper, our holder, and our kicker
great story.
all went to South Lake Carroll High School.
Guess where the first game was? Dallas Stadium. Thanksgiving.
Unreal.
Hartley, Drescher, me.
Yeah. I love
Now,
it.
like I used to say, if Jim Brown came out of South Lake Carroll, I wouldn't draft him because we're at our limit.
Yeah,
we
we've
were
done
at
it.
3.
We maxed out.
We're not
Like, you
taking.
can't
If
do
one
it
comes
anymore.
in, one of you got to go.
Yep. Too much.
No, so he goes to Missouri, signs with Washington, and then the final cut down.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone with him. Walk out of the building. And he's like, "Wait a minute. What do you mean?" I said,
No.
"Just walk out of the building. You're coming here. I have a contract." Coach, I'm getting ready. I said, "Did you hear what I said? Walk out of the building."
Yes.
And
Like, I guess.
it's hard to tell someone
Yeah.
to just leave the building, and there's nothing in writing. You're just.
Yeah.
And
I promise.
Yeah.
You're good. You'll
So-
be on active roster 2 weeks.
he
Sure
left the
enough.
building.
Oh, God.
Rest is history.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. All the best to you this season. All the help in the world. All the best to Megan and Connor, your whole family.
Absolutely.
Good luck to the Denver Broncos. We look forward to talking about you guys.
Good
and,
seeing you guys.
Highlighting all the good
Appreciate
stuff. So
you.
thanks
I'm
for.
sure we'll see you again.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Sounds good.
Thanks for watching Scoop City. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment. New episodes of Scoop City drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.